Oh, hello there. Today I'm going to make a video talking about what it's been like to transition, especially as somebody who they themselves didn't want to transition. I didn't really realize I was transgender until about 3 years ago. My mom had passed, and I remember conversations we had where she thought I was transgender. I had a very open mom, and I'm super lucky for her existence. She basically said that I always kind of had that femaleness to me. She always thought I was transgender. And that thought wouldn't leave me. As I began to think more about it, it made sense. Like my whole life I have kind of been womanly, and there were multiple times where I brought it up to friends that I think I could be, it might be a possibility. I just never wanted to go through with it because I knew how hard it was for trans people, and I just know the way that our world is right now. When I realized I was trans, I hated myself so much. I took it on myself to be like, well, shit, now what am I gonna do with my life? I'm gonna live this horrible life. I'm gonna have to deal with people's ignorance, especially beginning transition because I looked very male, like this. I seemed like a guy. People thought I was a happy gay male, and I had to come out and tell them I'm a woman. And in that process, I have to look in between male and female, like not really looking like one or the other. And I didn't want to deal with people's scrutiny or ignorance. But going through with it, I started hormones in May 2017. It was a very long process. I didn't start presenting as female until the end of the summer of 2018 because I wanted my hair to grow longer. I was putting all these halts on myself. Whenever I had changes bodily that were more female, I wouldn't celebrate them. And the gender dysphoria was so real, especially at the beginning, because I hadn't really known I was trans, so I didn't in any way look it, so I wasn't feeling good about myself. I think gender dysphoria is a huge reason for mental health issues. I just wanted to be female so bad, and every time I looked in the mirror, I felt terrible about myself because I saw a boy, literally a girl trapped in a boy's body. Ridiculous. I thought about dating and how hard that was gonna be because I know men can feel like, oh, it's gonna make me gay to fall in love with a trans woman, even though it doesn't, because it's femininity and femalehood that you're attracted to. So that's what you would be attracted to if you had an attraction to me. It was a really hard pill to swallow, knowing that it was gonna be an extra obstacle I had to go through, and also being in healthcare, like I work in nursing, having to deal with patients' ignorance, transitioning while being in school and being at hospital placement, and wondering how that's gonna work. What it means to be female has been a whole nother thing. I've been trying to figure out what that means for me, because being a female is one thing and then finding your own niche within that is another. So I had to figure out like what worked for me and deal with the surprises of being a woman. Like the biggest surprise for me was how much emphasis there is on a girl's appearance and how that kind of society makes it seem like a girl's appearance is her worth. If you're not good looking, then you're not worth very much. That's how it feels. So it's hard to, you know, this is gonna sound awful, but go from having male privilege to not having that anymore, and what it's like to live as a woman. You have to be way more careful, especially at nighttime. You have to walk with like a 360 vision. As a guy, even though I was a gay male, I could kind of do what I wanted out in public. Like I didn't have to worry about it. It wasn't even a thought in my head. Like maybe safety, but I live in a pretty great place. That was hard to deal with. The clothes, female clothes, they're all different sizes. A medium at 2 different stores are 2 different sizes, and like jeans, why are there even sizes? Because they're all a guessing game. That was a whirlwind. I think what helped me the most getting through it and realizing that I'm gonna be okay is connecting with people within the community and people who have transitioned or people who identify as non-binary or under the gender diverse umbrella. It makes you feel less alone. You really have to connect with those people if you're struggling. I wouldn't say don't go through with the transition if you're scared, because my fear was at 100 out of 100, and I still went through with it because I knew it was what I wanted deep down and who I am. I knew I couldn't run from it because that would just make me more depressed. Now I can say that I'm actually happier, and I can look in the mirror and start to look at myself and not through myself. And that's a huge thing because I always struggled with self-esteem. I always struggled with my identity. I really struggled with it in high school and had lots of mental health issues and like would harm myself, do all these things because I thought I was a piece of crap. And then as I've been transitioning, I've realized it was because I was a woman and didn't really make that connection. As I've been going through with it, I've been becoming happier and happier and happier. You know, there were countless times where I wish my mom was still here because I think she really would have got it and would have been able to explain to me her perspective of being a woman. But if anybody can talk to you about what it's like to be a certain gender, that won't suffice. You have to figure it out on your own and figure out what works for you. I kind of had to teach myself what I think it means to be female, just what it means to be a good person. And it's not even about gender, it's about operating in a way where you can feel good about yourself at the end of the day because you're a nice person and you care about other people's shortcomings and struggles and want to better lives. As cheesy as that is. You know, I'm a Hallmark card, what can I say? I definitely recommend going through with it, and hopefully you can find healthcare professionals that are trans inclusive. I've been very lucky with my doctor because she had experience with trans individuals and trans patients, so she knew what she was doing in terms of my transition. All in all, it's been a good experience because I'm me. Yeah. I don't know if this video does anything, if it's helpful, if it makes sense, but hey. If there's anything you want me to talk about or make videos about, let me know in the comments and I totally will. I hope you have a fantastic day and keep doing you. Talk to you later.